Okay, let's dive right into an idea that honestly could change how you look at every single struggle in your life. What if all that psychological pain we feel, what if it isn't the enemy we need to destroy, but actually a trainer we desperately need to start listening to?
I mean, this is pretty much our default setting, right? When we feel that internal pain, anxiety, burnout, that nagging self-doubt, our first instinct is to just make it stop. We try to avoid it, numb it, or just run away from it. We treat it like it's proof that something is fundamentally broken inside us. But what if that whole way of thinking is just wrong?
So let's start with something I think we've all felt, that incredibly frustrating experience of being stuck in some kind of invisible loop. That feeling of the same friction showing up over and over again.
No, really, think about it for a second. Does it ever feel like you're just running into the same invisible wall, time and time again? Maybe the scenery changes, a new job, a new city, but that wall is always there. Well, that's the loop we're talking about.
And what's so wild about these loops is how they seem to follow us around. We think, oh, the problem is this job, so we quit. We think it's this relationship, so we end it. We set brand new goals. And then, somehow, that same old feeling of rejection or that exact same pattern of procrastination or that burnout spiral, it just shows up again.
And this right here, this gets to the absolute heart of the issue. It's not that you have bad luck. It's not a personality flaw. The problem isn't the external world. It's an untrained psychological muscle. And the pain you're feeling, that's just the resistance that's showing you where the weakness is.
Okay, so this brings us to the big idea, the core reframe of this whole thing. This single perspective shift, that pain is just feedback, is what can change absolutely everything.
Think about it. We learned pretty early on to connect any kind of psychological discomfort with being inadequate. You feel anxious before a big presentation? Well, you must not be prepared enough. You're feeling self-doubt? You're just not confident enough. We see pain as a final judgment on our character.
But here's the reframe, and it is so powerful. That pain, it's not there to punish you. It's not there to prove you're broken. Its whole purpose is to reveal what needs your attention. So, here's the most important point. Pain is not a verdict. It's a signal. It's your internal system basically tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, you see this area right here? This specific spot, it needs some work. It's time for some training.
It's just like training at the gym. When your muscles are burning after a workout, you don't think, oh no, my body is broken. You know that feeling is a sign of growth. We have to start applying that exact same logic to our minds. Pain is just a diagnostic tool, plain and simple.
All right, so if this is all so logical, why is it so incredibly hard to actually do when you're in the middle of it? Well, it's because psychological pain feels intensely personal. It feels like it's aimed right at the core of who we are, at our identity.
You know that feeling? When your discipline breaks down for the 10th time, the pain isn't just about a failed action anymore. It starts whispering this little story in your ear about who you are. It starts to feel like a permanent character trait.
And the exact same thing happens with anxiety. That feeling of being totally overwhelmed in a high-pressure moment gets misinterpreted. It stops being a feeling you're having and starts to feel like a statement about your inner strength. And oh man, this one cuts the deepest. When a familiar relationship pattern collapses again, the pain can be so convincing. It tells us the problem isn't the pattern, it's some fundamental flaw in our very ability to be loved. But here's the thing, these are not truths. They are just interpretations.
So look, the exact same painful experience can lead you down two completely different paths. It all comes down to how you interpret it. If you see pain as failure, you shrink. Your world gets smaller because you withdraw, you hide, you avoid. But if you see it as feedback, you get curious, you analyze, you adapt, and ultimately you sharpen.
Okay, so we've talked about why this stuff feels like a personal attack. Now let's get really practical. How do you actually use this framework to read the pain when you're right in the thick of it?
This right here is the single most important practical shift you can possibly make. Our default question is always about escape. How do I make this feeling stop? But the growth question is about learning. Just shifting from how do I make this stop to what is this trying to upgrade inside me? It transforms you from a victim of your pain into a student of it.
See, your discomfort isn't just random static. It's a very specific signal.
It's pointing to potential training gaps in one of these key areas of your internal system, like your emotional capacity, your personal boundaries, or even just how you process tough feelings. The pain tells you exactly which area is buckling under the pressure.
This table lays it out so clearly. Let's take a look. Feeling that constant buzzing anxiety? Well, that's feedback on uncertified safety. It just means your system doesn't feel capable in this new territory yet. Procrastinating on something? That's feedback on emotional avoidance. You're probably dodging a feeling, not the task itself. Total burnout? That's direct feedback that a boundary has failed somewhere. And that nagging self-doubt? It's pointing to unearned evidence, a sign you need to go out and build more proof of what you can do.
All right, let's bring this all home. This last part is all about taking this new understanding and actively using it to convert all that pressure into real, lasting strength.
This is it. This is the universal formula for growth, and it works for everything, from muscles in the gym to your mind. But here's the catch. Most of us get stuck at step 1. We feel the stress, and we interpret it as a sign to stop, so we never get to the adaptation part. The goal is to see the stress, read the feedback, and actually complete the whole cycle. That's how you build a new, higher baseline of strength.
And this really is the final mindset shift. A challenge is no longer this giant wall that's meant to stop you in your tracks. It becomes the very tool you use to get stronger. It's not a wall to run away from, it's a weight you get to lift.
Because at the end of the day, the solution isn't to somehow create a life that's magically free of pressure, because that's impossible. The real solution is to build an internal system that is so robust, it can handle and maybe even thrive under that pressure.
And that's really what it all boils down to, isn't it? The pain is gonna come. The lessons are gonna present themselves one way or another. So the only question that's left is the one right there on your screen. Are you gonna get stuck in that loop, just repeating the lesson over and over and over again? Or are you gonna use the feedback to evolve your system? The choice, as always, is yours.